Hey, so I watched the season 4 2 plus hour premiere right when it came out, the day it came out anyways. But it was like 1 in the 12:30, I guess, in nighttime. So like it carried over into the day after it came out by the time I finished, so I didn't want to wake anyone up by doing a review. So sorry that I'm a little bit late on doing this review. And if my details are a little bit foggy since it's the morning after. But yeah, I'm gonna go into all 4 seasons of Fargo, which is my favorite TV show. I'm gonna give uh more detail. I know I've done a couple of videos on Fargo in the past, but I never like went into a review on what I thought about them. And the 4th season I thought would be the most interesting one to review because it's the one where I have the most complex thoughts on it. Note that this is not a full season review of season 4 because only the first 2 episodes have come out. So I believe that this is too early in the season to fully judge the season as a whole. So my opinions on this season are not final. This is just what I think as of 2 episodes into what will probably be a 10 episode season. So since like we're just laying the groundwork at this point, it's definitely too early to tell my official thoughts on season 4, but this will at least give you an idea of what I think so far, which will probably remain how I think of the season uh when the season finishes, because I doubt it'll change unless something very big changes. But I'm gonna go into a lot of backstory on this one, so I don't doubt this one being longer. Uh, so first of all, I think the first 3 seasons of Fargo are perfect in my eyes, anyways. Like, they are some of the best seasons out there on television. And the only other show to achieve this were the last 2 seasons of Mr. Robot. And I could make an argument for the limited series devs as well. Because I can't stop rewatching that show. And if you hadn't heard of either of those, you should absolutely go check those out. Uh, Devs is also on FX on Hulu if you want to watch it that way, or just FX on cable. Uh, but this review is not about those. It is about the 4th season of Fargo. But first, I have to go into the first 3 seasons. The show's an anthology, so your opinion of each season changes because you're gonna like some seasons better than other ones. Though surprisingly, I think the quality of the first 3 seasons are all matched to one another. They're all just like perfection. They're consistently engaging. I can't figure out a single flaw with any of them. Uh, and they're all just master classes in television. And I don't think I can find a TV show that can better it. And I'm shocked that people don't talk about the show more because it is really that good. So season 4 had a lot to live up to because the first 3 seasons had such excellence. And I love following everything that this writer director has been doing. He recently also did 3 seasons of Legion, which I watched and thought was pretty great, but it wasn't no Fargo. But I still loved it. And then he also did a directorial debut, Lucy in the Sky, which I also thought was great. Like, I loved it, but it wasn't no Fargo. Um, and now he returns to the 4th season of Fargo after a really long time. And after the trailer dropped, I was very skeptical and worried. I was kind of in the same position that everyone was when they watched season 4, where they're like, oh no, this is not gonna be as good as the first 3 seasons. Oh no. And the trailer made me realize that, whereas like this is not even gonna come close to being as flawless as the first 3 seasons. I'm just gonna have to kind of accept that out of the gate. But it still looks like it's gonna be good, just not perfect. And I had to come to terms with that. Man, it keeps wanting to make the video sideways, but the video's not supposed to be sideways. So the trailer looked like I wasn't gonna have as much fun with this, but hey, the worst season of Fargo is gonna be better than anything else on television, so you know. Uh, and yeah, the response to this season has been much more mixed than the first three seasons from both critics and audiences. However, to my surprise, when I finally did show up to watch the first two episodes of the fourth season, I quite enjoyed it much more than I thought I would from the trailer. Because, like, there was a lot of elements in the trailer that seemed missing from, like, a formula of, like, what makes a Fargo season great that finally showed up to play in the actual show when you saw it come together instead of just, like, what a trailer looks like. Uh, it still could be more funny. It still could be more dramatically ept, but there's still a lot of that charm there that the first three seasons had. It's still the same style. It's still got a great cast. Uh, it's still funny, and it's still unique, and it still feels like Fargo, which is very important. uh, the pacing is extremely well done. The first two episodes flew by way faster than me and everyone I was watching it with was expecting it to. And everyone that I watched it with, which were two other people, all extremely enjoyed this season about as much as the other three. And while it's not as good as the other three, it doesn't deter from my overall rating of the show. uh, it's not flawed enough to, in my eyes, to lower the rating of a 10 out of 10 from the show. It will definitely have to wait to see if the moving parts all come together with the other episodes. But as it stands right now, seasons 1 through 3 were all so highly regarded in my mind and so like strong 10 out of 10s from me that this one being like good enough was more than good enough for me to leave it at a 10 out of 10 and be like, yeah, this one could be a 10 out of 10 potentially. Like, it's not mediocre enough for me to lower it from a 10 as a whole, as a show. So, yeah, season 4 is definitely extremely watchable. Uh, and I'm very interested in the characters. They're pretty charismatic as always and very odd. Yeah, and I'm very excited to see where this season goes. I'm very glad that I'm not as mixed on this season as I thought I would be from the trailer and as mixed as everyone else is. According to like Rotten Tomatoes and like other reviewer sites where it seems like people aren't having as much fun as they used to with this show. And I definitely hope that the show keeps going anyways and still remains as strong as it has been because this is a great show and more people need to watch it. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.